On the first day we were drawing dots and lines, but they were all black. Let's check out how we can change the color of those lines. We quickly saw yesterday that stroke is used to change. We didn't try it out, but we opened this page here. We saw a stroke can change the color of the border. So the same way background changes the whole background of the screen, stroke changes the color of the next drawing action. See, it says here on the description, sets the color used to draw lines and borders around shapes. So it looks like it works the same way like the background. You can have stroke with one number, so you get a gray value. Or you can make a stroke with 3 values, must be RGB, red, green, blue. So then we will call first stroke and then draw lines. If this is red, green, blue, the first value is red, green, and blue. This way we can make a red line. Now, what was the syntax for line? So we have line, we have open and close parentheses, a semicolon at the end, and in the middle we have to enter 4 numbers, which are 2 points. Let's put the point 0, 0, which is on the top left, and the point 100, 100, or we could type 99, 99. And run this program, see what we get. We get a red line. We could try again animating this, making many frames per second, and drawing lines of different colors. How was that done? So again, we always use this void draw, open and close parentheses, open, oops, that wasn't the one, open braces and close the braces at the end. And now what do we want to do? Can you imagine how we could get, instead of totally random colors, only get red colors? You can pause the video and think about it for a second. We can achieve that if we just change, for example, the red component, and we leave the other 2 at 0. So the green and blue are going to be 0, and we are just getting some random values for the red component. Right now, it would be a bit strange because it would draw the line all the time on the same place. Let's try it. It's a bit hard to see. The line is blinking on different shades of red. Go between very dark, like black, and red, but it's not moving. So let's make these lines move. And as before, we can draw from the corner to some random position on the screen. And let's see what kind of image we get now. Let's review the program. This program uses this void draw function, which is called over and over again. And each time we are setting a color for the lines that has a random component for the red. The green and the blue are always 0, so we get shades of red. And after setting the color for the future lines, we draw a line. The line goes from the corner, from the top left. This means 0 pixels from the left, 0 pixels from the top. So these 2 numbers indicate the top left corner. And then we get some 2 random numbers to draw a line to somewhere on the screen. And then this happens many times. Let's see. So we have this kind of hyperspeed effect. That's pretty nice. How would you do that now? Imagine instead of coming from this top left corner, maybe it would look nice if we draw the line from the center. Then it would look like really like this hyperdrive on a spaceship or something. How do we change that? So the top left corner are these two numbers here, 0, 0. And if we know that the screen is 100 pixels wide and 100 pixels tall, I will write it down here. The screen is 100 pixels wide and 100 pixels tall. So the middle of the screen would be 50-50. And again, I run the program, and now it becomes, now the lines are appearing from the center. If we want to make it blue instead of red, how do we do that? So if we know this is the first number before the comma is red, the second number is green, and the last one is blue. So we should actually remove this from here. So we're not going to have red at all. We're not going to have green. We are just going to have blue. So this program now should make it blue. Different shades of blue between blue and black. I don't like the gray on the back. Maybe it would be better if we started with a black screen. But that's easy to fix. If we add the instruction here, background 0, this makes the background black. We will not get the same effect. Why? Because every time we draw, every time we execute this function, like many times per second, we would empty the screen. We will make it black and then set a color for the lines and then draw a line. So this line here would be deleting all the old lines. Let's try it out. Yeah, it's a bit hard to see. It's a nice effect. It looks like a laser on a club. Actually, if we make it green, let's try make it green. So we use the central value, red, this is green, and this is blue. Now it's gonna look totally like a laser on the club. But that's not what we wanted. This is happening because we are erasing the screen all the time. So how do we set the background black without erasing it all the time? Okay, for that we have to use that other function we saw before earlier, that was setup, void setup. And then we have to move this line. We cut it from here, and I will paste it here. And this should give us the effect. So now we are getting all these lines and it's not erasing. Why? Because the setup is only called once at the beginning. It calls setup once, it makes the background black, and then it's drawing these different lines. This formatting looks a bit ugly now. Like there are some standards about where to add spaces. They're not really important, the program works anyways. But there is a function here in the edit menu called auto format. You can press Ctrl T to get the same effect. And this adds nicely spaces in front. So it's easier to see that this block is inside these braces. And this single line is also inside these other braces. So you can use that function, auto format, to clean up your code.